monthly coffee is shipping.
Yeah, it's shipping. I think some maybe shipped yesterday, but for the most part, they are shipping today.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that means if you signed up for our cheesecake box, you're getting cheesecake flavors soon, which is kind of exciting.
So good,
They are. And again, this was a viewer submitted box theme by Bill. Bill let us know that he thought that was a good idea, and we agree, Bill. I think you're gonna like it too.
Okay. I'm getting an update. That's why I'm looking at my phone.
What's your update?
Order confirmations seem to not
Be going through to people?
be going through to people.
Does it have anything to do with the Shopify issues from the other day?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Shopify went down the other day, which is just great when that happens during the busy season.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Trying to figure it out.
I love that you always have to be attached to your phone to like figure things out no matter the day or time or wherever you're at.
Yeah, well, they look like they stopped on the 10th, so we're trying to figure out what happened.
Okay, so if you didn't get your order confirmation, don't worry, we got your order.
Like this just keeps falling off. I don't really know. I'm sure it's really loud in the when you touch it.
Oh yeah, gotta love that.
Okay.
Yeah, so welcome to the week before Thanksgiving. In other words, I just told Brayton yesterday, I said, oh, this is our last weekend off for a while.
I know. What are you going to do with your last weekend off?
Well, I painted my bathroom last weekend. I think this weekend I'm going to paint my hallway because the hallway that goes up to my stairs, I'm going to get wainscoting installed.
Okay.
So
that sounds like so much fun.
I like painting, so
I
don't
hate painting.
it. And when I painted that hallway when I first moved in 10 years ago, I did a color that I thought was like buttercream, but it's just straight yellow and I hate it. So it's trying to freshen that up.
Yellow's really tough. Like it can look super different in different lights.
Yeah. It was supposed to be like a white, but it has so much yellow in it that all I see when I look at it is yellow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be bright white now.
Yeah, I think that's why people ended up going from like into those cream colors or like beige. Remember when everything was beige?
Yes. Oh, the beige years. And then we went to the gray years.
And now it's just like white, everything.
Yes. No, Lori talked me into doing white. She's like, it'll look really good in that foyer. I'm like, okay, fine.
It's easy to paint over too if you decide something else.
My husband is mad. He doesn't know. He when he came here last week to bring me lunch and I had the paint decks out, he said, why would we put white there? It just gets dirty. And I'm like, oh, I already went to Home Depot and bought a gallon of it. So when I start putting it on the wall, just look away.
I think any color on a wall gets dirty, though. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, absolutely it does. You just have to wash your walls,
Yeah.
Like, it's just general home maintenance,
right?
It's weird how that works.
I mean, we have white walls in our, like, new pantry, hallway, whatever area, and it's not getting any dirtier than any of the other colors.
Yeah.
Like,
you'll just take a magic eraser and you'll clean it up.
Yeah.
Great.
I think we got like the scuff defense or something.
Oh,
too.
the Benjamin Moore scuff defense is really good.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Benjamin Moore, but it was something.
I will say, you know what? I put that in my kitchen and my kitchen walls never look dirty.
Yeah.
And my first part of my mudroom, it never looks dirty. So Benjamin Moore scuff defense, there's your free plug.
Yeah, I was like, I know my kids, like, I watch them run their fingers down the hallway, and it doesn't seem to do anything but, like, our kitchen, which is older paint.
Yes.
I'm constantly washing the walls in there.
Oh, yeah.
They're so gross.
And we use Benjamin Moore scuff paint in our stores and really like it for that reason because it stays clean longer. I mean, again, it doesn't have a lot of maintenance to it. So, I've had my kitchen and mudroom painted in the Benjamin Moore paint since 2019, and the walls look great. I don't know if I've washed them since then.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always washing the walls. It's like, oh my gosh, how did this get so dirty again?
And those rooms, they don't look dirty, so you kind of forget about it.
You probably also don't have 5-year-olds running down your halls with their fingers.
I don't. My youngest is about to be 13, so
we have lots of wall art.
Yeah.
And all sorts of things.
You know what the crazy thing about like having little kids is just like how chaotic they are with like, oh, here's a Sharpie. Let's color her whole body.
Oh my gosh. Or like they got this stupid stamper from a Halloween thing, and I look in their playroom and they'd stamped all over the walls.
You're kidding.
I was so
Did it come off?
mad. I make them take magic erasers and wash all the walls off. And
I'm glad you
it
make
takes
them do it themselves.
forever. I'm like, yeah, don't color on the walls.
Yeah.
But we were in Florida at our timeshare, and Dallas immediately got this marker and went and colored on a white door.
No.
He wrote his name on it. I'm like, Dallas,
no.
you can't color on walls.
He's got some mischief in him.
Yeah. I don't know what intrusive thoughts are in that child, but he is my wall color.
Boy. I watched a thing last night, and it was this, as a comedian, he was a dad of sons, and he said, yeah, my nieces come over, and they're like, Uncle Bill, where shall we sit? And he's like, how about a chair? Okay, we're going to color now. And he says, I leave, and I come back an hour later, and they're just still sweetly coloring. I go and I look for my sons, like, where are they? Are they even in the house? Oh, they're in the street.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, good.
Oh, you broke all the crayons and put them in the mailbox? Fantastic. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much apt as a mother of all sons.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. We've been letting the kids, like, kind of shower on their own because they're 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's the next step of
they're
independence.
showering. They're not bathing. Yeah. But I was doing laundry or something, and it'd been a while, and I'm like, okay, Stella takes a long time, but she doesn't take this long.
Yeah.
And they're quiet, right? So now I'm like, oh no. So I go into the bathroom, and Dallas is in there, which she's not supposed to be in there. And they had taken an entire tub of Legos, and they were like soaked. Like they had.
Did they dump them in the bottom of the shower?
No, they had water inside of the tub with all the Legos.
God.
I was just like, why? First of all, the Legos go downstairs.
Right.
Like,
and
why?
not in the shower. Or maybe they're just washing them for you. Little kids are so chaotic.
Yeah. Makes me tired.
Just turned 40, and the idea of having another baby just makes me even more chilly than I already am.
It tests your patience daily.
It surely does. Well, and then you have that like constantly trying to keep them alive, thing going on. Yeah. That is in itself terrifying.
Right. I just, when they do it over and over and over again, you're like, stop doing that. And then finally I'm like, I'm not telling you to stop anymore. And then they get hurt, and it's like, yeah. What did you think was going to happen? Yeah. Like.
Speaking of Legos, though, have you ever stepped on one, like in the middle of the night?
They're horrible.
Is there any pain worse than stepping on a Lego?
No. We have, it's like I think it was a office or like one of those like front sitting rooms in our house. Our house is pretty segmented, like it was an older home.
Yeah, it wasn't the open floor plan of today.
No. And so we turned it into their playroom, but I have baby gates at both entrances to this room. Mm-hmm. One's like a fully open entrance, and then one's got like double doors or whatever. But I've got baby gates across them, and they're not allowed to take their toys out of this room. Now, don't get me wrong, they end up out of this room, but for the most part, I just like toss everything back in there. And they're like, we can't even play. I'm like, guess you better clean up your room. Like, I'm over it.
You're such a strict mom. I love it. I wouldn't say strict, but like, you don't let them get away with it. And I like that. I was always like, yeah, fine. Just bring it out here,
Yeah, I mean, they're allowed, like, if we're sitting in the living room, they can bring something and play, but it's got to go back.
Yeah, and you're better about screen time than I ever was. I'm like, yeah, here's the tablet. Have fun.
Yeah, we let them do it sometimes. I let them have it this morning for a little bit because they woke up at their normal wake up time, but it's delayed start today. So I'm like, I'm sleeping for another hour. Go play. Get dressed, go play. Yeah.
I love that.
We're excited for the cheesecake flavors too, Bill. They're really good.
Mm-hmm. I think you're going to like what's in that box.
I like when we have the boxes come out because then we get to drink the coffee at the office too.
Yes.
And
then next month, well, I guess we haven't released that theme yet.
No. We have not.
We're not going to say anything
and
more about
next week we try the flavors.
Yes.
With you.
Yes. And then they're available for sale, starting I always say the 20th, but I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, well, for VIPs, they go on, you can buy full size today.
Okay.
If you have VIP access. But everybody else, it's usually about a week from.
So I think starting like Sunday or Monday, they go.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's usually something
I've got them
like
scheduled.
that.
And then next Thursday, Thanksgiving starts it starts our Black Friday, right?
It's one of those days.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday.
Somewhere around there.
It all kind of blurs together. Britt and I were
sitting
in my office.
Do we wait and start it on Friday? I feel like we
No, I think I've got it scheduled for Thursday.
Do we?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, we were laughing yesterday because, we sit and we try to schedule everything now because we're so busy. After next week, we can barely sit down, right?
Yeah.
And Britt was just kind of like, I can't really do that anymore because things change so much.
Yeah.
But I've got as much scheduled as I can. But then we came up with something fun that we're going to start. I think the first, we're going to do a 12 days of Christmas giveaway. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
12 days of a gift every day.
Starting December 1st, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is really soon, right?
Like 2 weeks.
Where is November gone?
I don't know. We have our Thanksgiving luncheon for the office tomorrow.
Oh, good. I wish we were eating turkey, though, because I could eat turkey dinner every day.
Really?
Yes. I love turkey dinner.
Oh, too much turkey.
Oh, I love it.
Way too much turkey.
I love it. As long as the person making the turkey makes it right. And I will say that there's a member of my family who makes the turkey. And when I've actually taken over making the turkey because I'm like, no, when you make it, it's like sawdust in my mouth.
Yeah. My husband makes really good turkey. And my Grammy makes really good turkey. Yeah. My dad's is hit or miss.
You know what? His wasn't bad last week for Thanksgiving.
Well,
Friendsgiving.
like last Thanksgiving, he pulled it out and it was like still raw. So he like sliced it into pieces and then put it back in the oven.
No.
So then it just got really dry.
They have thermometers, Kevin.
Yeah, we told him that.
Gross. Nothing's grosser than raw poultry.
Yeah, we would have been waiting hours to eat at that point anyway.
No.
Yeah.
Everybody's been talking about that Popeye Cajun turkey that they do every year. Have you heard about this?
Jason's done something like that before.
Yeah, well, apparently, like, Popeyes, you can, like, order your Thanksgiving meal from them.
No, he's, like, seasoned it. Like,
yeah,
Cajun.
This is like a Cajun turkey from Popeyes.
Oh, okay.
But I think they sell out, and I've heard they're really good. I'd love to try one just to know if they're good or not. Yeah.
I just read a thing that before Thanksgiving, you can pre-order frozen rolls from Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, you sent that to me.
Yeah, you can like get on a list to get their rolls.
Yeah, because isn't it like just a couple of days before you have to call them to get the frozen rolls?
I don't know. There's some list you have to ask for.
My kid, when we go to Texas Roadhouse, and we went there for his birthday when he turned 18 this year. We met him in Lansing. The amount of rolls that boy puts away is embarrassing.
See, and I like their rolls, but I like Logan's like honey butter better than the cinnamon butter.
Well, they do a cinnamon honey butter, and then
I don't like the cinnamon honey butter. I like whatever Logan's butter is better.
Yeah, it's so good. I also like, well, if we're talking about bread from chain restaurants, Outback's brown loaf of bread with it's good.
I think I've eaten at Outback like once.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, I could do for some cheese fries. Oh, what are we getting for lunch today?
I just feel like Outback's like expensive for what it is.
You know what I'll say about Outback is that when we went somewhere else and got dinner the other day and we're like, gosh, for the price, I think it was fast food. For the price, we actually could have just gotten steaks at Outback.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the price of fast food has gone up so much. Like Taco Bell, like $9 a person. Yeah. Unless you get those $5 cravings boxes.
But even, when we go for the kids, it ends up being like $40. It's and half the time we don't even get drinks or anything.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Prices have gone insane.
I mean, we've seen it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we're dealing with it too.
Yeah. You know, it's just one of those unhelpable things when the price of everything goes up, you know?
Yeah.
You've got to
adjust.
Yeah. I mean, we wish that coffee still, I mean, gosh, I think when I started at the Beanery, almost 16 years ago, maybe the bags of coffee were $9.95 each or $9.99 each.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah. And that was for a pound.
Yeah.
So,
sucks.
Yeah.
Inflation sucks.
Inflation sucks. But, you know, it's not the good old days where you could get a cup of coffee for 5 cents.
Yeah. Well, it was like those posts when you see, and it's like, well, their grandma bought this house for $20,000 and whatever. And
And now it's worth $1 million.
I know.
You know,
it's crazy.
But they do say that like buying a house is like the best investment for your children, to do that instead of
I have read that you should just go buy them a house, have people like rent it, and then pay the mortgage, and then when they're older, you just give them the house.
Yeah, and either they live in the house or they sell the house, and then there's a good chunk of inheritance for them.
Yeah, I know we had friends in college who they were twins. I don't know if they had another sister or not, but their parents bought them a property by the school, and then they lived in it, but they also like rented to like 5 people.
Oh, nice. That's so smart.
I'm sure it paid for the mortgage, and then when they were done, they were able to sell it and get the equity.
That's so smart to do that.
Right.
You know?
Actually, Alex did that too in Lansing.
Yeah, that's super, super, super smart. Yeah, and I would say my son's girlfriend's dad did that, bought them a condo to live in. They fixed it up, but I think they bought it for 60, and now they're selling it for 100. So crazy
Well,
how
and
that
when we were
works.
in the market, that would have made a lot more sense. This market's a little bit tougher to justify
Are we
that.
at 8% interest now?
Yeah, but
for
it's more
housing?
than that. I feel like everything's so inflated that you buy something and then you run the risk of in, 5 years or whatever being underwater because
Yeah. Well,
it's
and
not
houses
worth
are
that
supposed to be an
anymore.
investment. And then we learned in the Flint housing market that that was not the case.
Yeah,
I think I lost $29,000 out of my rental house when I sold it this year.
that was a bummer.
Yeah, but hey, maybe that'll look good on my taxes.
Yeah, you're done with it. That's all.
I'm so thankful to not be a landlord anymore. It was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
10 years of just really horrible experiences. And I would never want to do that. I would never wish that on my worst
People
enemy.
completely ruined your house.
They
too.
absolutely did. And during COVID, when the government told them that they didn't have to pay, and to be clear, they were supposed to apply for help, but there was nothing making them do that because you couldn't evict them, right?
Right.
So I had a tenant live in my house for a full year without paying rent.
And you still had to pay your
I still had to pay the mortgage.
mortgage.
I still had to pay the property taxes. I still had to pay everything else. And you know the crazy thing too is like we had tenants for 10 years. Over those 10 years, nobody paid their water bill. Now, mind you, this is the city of Flint. You've heard about the Flint water crisis.
Water is very expensive.
Water, when I moved out of that house in 2013, so I've lived in where I live now for 10 years. I've not lived in the city of Flint for 10 years. When we moved out, our water bill was over $200 a month for water, which is really high.
That's crazy.
Now I pay about $300 every 3 months where I live now in a nice suburb. But yeah, so when we moved out, or over the last 10 years, the tenants racked up about $5,000 of unpaid water bills, which is crazy to me. So like over 10 years, nobody paid their water bills.
Shut the water off?
For some reason, City of Flint doesn't shut their water off. I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But they don't shut their water off.
Well, and it seems like the company you hired to manage the house would make sure that the bills were cleared up before they were allowed to leave.
Well, the thing about the water in the City of Flint is that the water is in the tenant's name, and they have to pay a $325 water affidavit in order to put the water in their name. So the good news was when I sold the house, those bills didn't come back to bite me.
Oh, okay.
Because they were in each of the tenants' names.
Okay.
And so therefore, it's between the City of Flint and the tenant. The City of Flint has to come get the water after them if they want to.
Okay, that's good. At least they can't go after you.
It's not my bill, thank God.
Right.
The property tax is no longer my problem. So it just, not our last tenant, our tenant before last, the ones who didn't pay their bills, when they finally were able to get them out of the house, I mean, human feces, animal feces, wall-to-wall trash. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen. I can still smell that house.
They like let the septic or something back up into the house and they didn't tell anybody?
No, they didn't tell anybody that it had backed up. So there was stuff all over the floor, over the basement. I got quoted like $5,000 from biohazard companies to come clean it up.
That's so gross.
Yeah, and this is on top of a whole year of not getting rent and really struggling for a year because, again, I'm also paying my own mortgage, that mortgage.
Yeah.
So for me, being a property manager or a landlord was a really horrible experience.
I know we have a friend in Canada, and they just had their, like, the whole city's, like, septic or water or something backed up. I think it was the water, like, got clogged somewhere and, like, backed up into all of their, like, basements.
No.
And
that's a lawsuit.
Well, they're trying to blame, like, the homeowners, and they're like, no, it's the city.
The city of Flint had that same thing happen in the early 2000s, and there was a mass lawsuit, and they did collect money from the city of Flint.
You've got to repair it.
Yeah. I mean, I think after the lawyers took their money, it was like a $900 payment to my husband. Yeah. Because it happened before I lived there. But yeah, same thing happened. City of Flint.
Crazy.
Look it up, my Canadian friends, who that happened to. Because it happened.
We live off the grid, so we have a well, and we have like a big septic tank, and we have a big propane tank.
Yeah.
That has
it's kind of nice to be like that, though, and be like, self-sufficient a little bit.
Well, the only thing is our electric.
Okay, so you can still lose power.
Yeah, we still lose power.
Do you have electric heat? Like,
we have propane.
Okay, so then would you ever really lose heat in your house?
Well, if the electric can't run the furnace, then yes.
Okay. It couldn't be manually lit. And I'm not an HVAC person.
No, but we have fireplaces.
Good morning, Facebook user. We don't know your name,
I think it's usually Charles.
Yeah.
I know.
It says Facebook user. Good morning.
There's a link in the top so we can see your name if you give us permission.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah. So we do lose power. We do have a generator. Yeah. But it doesn't power the whole house.
Oh, yeah. Those Generacs that power the whole house are super intriguing to me.
Yeah. And then we have a system put in. So it's kind of like geothermal, but not. It's, what did they call it? A heat pump.
Really?
So the furnace only actually kicks on if it's under like 30 some degrees or something.
Really?
So anything in between, it uses the air conditioner to just like blow warm air on the house.
So it has a heat pump attached to it.
Yeah, we have a heat pump now.
That's really interesting because I have mini splits in my house since I have a boiler and so it's an air conditioner and it's on the side of the wall.
Yeah.
But that also will do heat.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Yeah, until it gets, to a certain temperature.
So what I have to do, hi Charles.
There you are.
What I have to do is actually figure out if I can turn my boiler down because it's gassy and it's really expensive to run. And my boiler is the original one to my house from 1961. It's a freaking beast, man.
Yeah.
But my heating bills last winter were about almost $600 a month.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So this year, when I sold my rental house, I was able to make some improvements on my house that I live in and put new windows in. I upgraded from the original 1961 windows.
So hopefully the boiler won't have to work so hard.
And then put the air conditioning because we didn't have air conditioning. And with the air conditioner with the mini split, I'm hoping that I can run the electric heat a little bit, turn down the gas
And you guys
heat.
are probably on a natural gas from consumers or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So fingers crossed that my bills are not $600.
I mean, it's hard. We have to get our pig filled, and when you have to get that thing filled, it's like $700 or $800.
And you go to do it a couple times a winter, right?
Well, we've been doing it like 2 to 3 times a year.
Okay.
So it's not that bad. Since we put the heat pump in, we're still at like 70%. So maybe we'll have to fill it in January.
Yeah. How efficient is your house? Do you feel like it's pretty like sealed up and insulated?
Some conversations still. Great American Cookies and Ice Cream. We have the one, right, in the La Palmera Mall.
Yeah.
That's a co-brand.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. That last name seems familiar to me in some conversations. Yeah.
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 So they're a co-brand in La Palmera and Corpus Christi.
Yeah,
Texas.
that store just became got a new owner, a Mr. Young Lee, who I'm going to meet actually. He's coming to Costa Rica with us.
Yeah.
And he's actually working on remodeling that kiosk right now.
Okay.
So it's a really cool kiosk though because it's made of steel and wood, like real wood.
Yeah.
So it was built originally in like 2003 and it is sturdy.
Yeah, I remember it's super solid.
Yeah, you remember
it's
when
pretty
we went
cool.
to that store.
Mm-hmm.
We went there in 2014, so it's been almost 10 years since you and I visited it.
Yeah.
Obviously, other people have been there since then, but not us.
Most people are interested at St. Thomas Island. I don't know where that is.
Same, yeah.
Is that St. Thomas? I'm going to Google it.
It's a Virgin Island, I believe.
Virgin Island?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
One of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we're
somewhere warmer than here.
We're a franchise company, so if people want to open a store there, then that's something we can help with.
I know. I love when people comment on our Facebook page, oh, I missed the store here, I missed the store there. And we're always like, yeah, they retired.
We do too.
Actually, we just got news that one of our franchisees that opened in the Beaver Valley Mall in Monaca, Pennsylvania, passed away. The original owner, Paul Collette.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did I tell you that?
No, I didn't hear that.
There's a cool story there, though, because one of his workers who started there when she was 15, he really took her under his wing and trained her up. And then when he decided to retire, he sold the store to Marissa, who's the current owner.
Yeah.
So she's really young and we love her. But she really grew up in the store and now her parents and she's involved. She has a daughter of her own. She just got married too. Did you know that?
I thought I saw she got engaged. I didn't know that she got married.
Yeah, I think she got married. I think
she did.
Yeah, but yeah, we love her. Hi,
Yeah,
Marissa.
she's super sweet.
Yeah.
Super sweet. I don't even know if she's on social media.
Yeah, she is. I follow her on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's how I keep up on her life.
I'm not on social media. I guess is the bigger issue.
I'm on it as Coffee Beanery most of the time. So
yeah, sometimes I see things, but not very often.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I try to stay away from social media, but then because I really get sucked into like the reels, and I'll just kill so much time watching reels, like make it stop.
Yeah, sometimes I do reels with the kids in the morning to keep them like busy.
It's such a time suck. Yeah.
David Copperfield and Carrot Top and military personnel.
Okay.
Okay. Are they from St. Thomas? Is that?
No idea. No idea.
I don't know. I'm going to Google St. Thomas Island.
Maybe they have vacation homes there.
Probably. I'm sure a lot of celebrities do.
Yeah. Sounds like
yeah. List of people from the Virgin Islands. Yeah.
Nice.
Lots and lots of celebrities.
Nice. We started watching they were thinking about David Copperfield because I Googled him the other day because we were watching an old episode of remember the magician Chris Angel?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the episode was from like 2009, and just like the style back then was wild. It was like everybody with the Ed Hardy jeans with rhinestones on their butt, and like the giant belt buckles, and then like the black emo haircuts.
Yeah.
And just watching this guy like lay it down on the ladies, it's just wild.
Didn't Holly Madison date Chris Angel?
Probably.
I feel like there was a whole thing about it, and like I think I read her little like memoir book.
I did,
and it was fascinating.
That would be because was she one of the Playboy bunnies?
She was, yeah.
One of Hugh Hefner's girlfriends.
She was like the favorite one or whatever. There was like a ranking system, and she was like.
That whole time was wild.
That was a wild time. Yeah.
With all his girlfriends that lived in the house and just,
I think he did end up getting married though after those three left, I think.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wonder if he has any kids.
He does have kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure how many. At least 2, I think.
Yeah. No, what a wild time.
Yeah. The reality TV was great though. The reality TV that came from that. If you can find
some of the old episodes. Oh, like one of my favorite ones was the Flavor Flav.
The love show.
So when I tell you I didn't watch reality shows, I watched them a little bit back then.
Yeah.
But when Flavor Flav was looking for love.
That was a great one with that giant clock.
Yes. And then, I'll never forget, and I don't remember people's names like that, but the girl who played New York or Tiffany spit on somebody. And like to me, when you spit on somebody, that is like the nastiest, most disrespectful thing you can do.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I was in like high school when that happened.
It was a long time ago.
Loving the quantum leap. Oh my gosh.
Dude, Bill, you know this. This is how we talk every day, though.
So,
like I don't know how people
so off track as always.
What is our track today?
I'm like the only thing we really had to show you was the new Merry Christmas packaging today. So
and to talk about all the fun we have.
I feel like we're still recovering from Veterans Day, and then we got to ship subscriptions today.
Oh yeah. I love it though. Like I know we say that we work every weekend, but like we love it. Like we're gonna be tired, come end of December, come Christmas, we're tired. But we love it because we're together, every Saturday and Sunday. We come in, we might eat some snacks, we'll put some stuff out, Yeah. And it's just important to us to get all your packages out super quick. So,
absolutely.
Got some stuff on the wall right now that are waiting, but I got my update this morning that we should hopefully have.
Yeah, most of it was
everything by the end of the day. Yeah.
Most people are really interested in making investments into company. All right. Well, I mean, reach out. We're like I said, we're a franchise company. As the company as a whole, though, we are a family company.
Yeah.
So we're private.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in opening a franchise,
and then you get to work with me once you open a franchise, which is so fun for everybody.
It is fun. We like working with Patty.
I hope that we get things done, right? So
yeah,
I've got a couple stores in process right now that are opening soon in Indiana and another one in Michigan, and some more coming. So this should be great.
Why is this like so squeaky? Oh, there's crinkle paper in here.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense. These are the new little 6-packs for Christmas season. We still have the white wood ones as well. Mm-hmm. But we have these little Merry Christmas ones, and they say gifted with love on the back.
So this literally came in yesterday. We were begging our vendor.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, please, sir, please, when are they coming in? Because we sent every last piece of this packaging that we had to Amazon.
Yeah.
So we have had none of these for a minute.
Whoops.
None of these for a minute. And so they just came in yesterday, the very first to see them. But I
They're
love
very
this
cute.
gift because it's what, $23.95 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. They're really good, like little teacher gifts or something like that. Or, you know, if you're going to a Secret Santa.
Yeah, it's so
like
nice
that.
because you get 6 little coffee samplers. You get to try 6 different ones, and we have a bunch of different ones. I kind of put them out here because we have one that's just like unflavored coffee. We have a decaf one. We have one that's both flavored and regular coffee, right?
Yeah.
The variety pack.
Yep. Yay, Jennifer. I'm glad you got your order. I feel like you were maybe one of the people who emailed about your order confirmation. They're not working right now. We're trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to solve that.
Jennifer, what did you order though? I'd love to know.
Yeah. Watch out for Puff Daddy. Oh my God.
One of my friends was on...
Isn't he the one that has like 8 names?
Yeah, so he was P. Diddy.
Oh, P. Diddy.
Puff Daddy
okay.
was his first name, and then he
no,
was...
it wasn't you. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what he is anymore, but fun fact, my friend David James...
Sean something is his real name.
Sean Combs is his real name, but my friend David James was his assistant on his reality show.
Oh, really?
So Dave James I grew up with, he was like, I dated his best friend, and my best friend dated him. And then he went on to work on the reality show. So if you look at the old episodes of P. Diddy or...
I remember that show.
Yeah, so watch him again, and you'll see David James on there. He was his assistant, like literally, like, I don't know, didn't he have like kind of like a manservant? And I think that was David. Yeah.
Well, I mean, an assistant probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Same difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Death by Chocolate and ice cream taco. Those are such good flavors.
Those are so good. Yeah, we ran a lot of the subscriptions for the last couple months, but we only did that through December. In January, we'll be cutting the K-Cups back a little bit.
There's one last ice cream sandwich.
The rest there's 16 more boxes that need labels.
Oh, okay.
But remember, Branson sat on the labels.
Yes.
And you printed them. Branson sat on them.
Do I need to print them again?
We need to print them again.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Branson.
Thanks, Branson.
And then, we're down to like less than 20, I think, of pumpkin spice K-Cups too.
Of K-Cups,
yeah. I was out pulling this morning. I'm like, yeah, we're almost out of those. If you want pumpkin spice K-Cups, they're almost gone.
I was like, yesterday there was like 1 whole bean caramel apple, but there were still 2 cases of ground.
Yeah, it's going to be gone. And I've got another 260 pounds of ground sentimentality blend being made today or tomorrow.
Okay.
So my sign worked that I put up there.
Good.
They're like, what do you mean by lots? I'm like, keep it coming.
Yeah, keep it coming.
Keep it coming.
So much.
We keep running out of CHB so fast.
Yeah.
Like, we can't keep it on the shelves. So
it's good though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then it's great because $1 of each purchase goes towards Habitat for Humanity. So, you know,
that's awesome.
And then advent calendars are still flying off the shelf. And the influencers keep begging to, like, can you please just send me one? I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. We had to get the second pallet down, I think.
Oh, good.
So that's good.
Good.
Because what we only, I mean, you can do it whenever, but December 1st is like 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah. Gosh, it really is. Again, where has November gone?
Yeah. Dallas this morning, we're staying at the bus stop and he's like, when's Christmas? And I'm like, oh, it's like a month away, bud, or like 5 weeks or whatever. He's like, that's so long.
It's a month from next Saturday.
I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nuts. Yeah. Are you started shopping yet?
I haven't at all.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do that thing, though, that I was telling you about, where it's like you get them 4 gifts, and it's like something you read, something you wear, something you need, and something you want.
I love that.
From Jason and I.
Yes.
And then they'll probably get like a couple things from Santa.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to keep me from going overboard.
I like that. And I like that, I mean, because when you think about it, what do they really want, you know?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly, you know? And then
I
kind of got overwhelmed like a month ago, just kind of disgusted, you know, just with myself and like the consumerism of the holiday and like, man, people go into debt, you're like buying, and like for what? You know? Like, you know, but then I turned around and bought my son a $400 custom baseball mitt. But
he's in college baseball.
He's in college baseball,
you know?
And the way I let him design it himself, and it's got his name on it, like stitched on it. And I wanted it to say, "Mama loves you," somewhere on it. He and I laughed about it, but I just figured it's the last one I'm going to buy him, right? Because once college baseball is over, you're done,
and that's more
right?
of like a memory too that you're going to have forever. You know, unlike the Paw Patrol tower that is going to last for 6 months, and then inevitably end up in the garbage can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they busted something on it, or they just don't have room.
You know what you should do, though? If you have somewhere to store that, put it back in the box when they're done playing with it. Throw it in your attic. Well, because there are so many vintage toys that are selling. Like, you know what right now is selling is the Monster High dolls.
But they usually break them. That's the thing.
If they're broken, they're no good.
They're like, they're just destroyed. Or honestly, like mentally, I just need it out of my house.
Yeah. I'm on a lot of the, like, be on the lookout for sites for reselling. And so, like, there's, like, a lot of brands. And I love it because people will, like, oh, look what I just found. And the old McDonald's toys that sell.
Yeah.
You know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
When I do my toy clean outs, I should just load, instead of throwing the garbage bags directly in the trash.
Yes.
I should just give them to you and you can go through and see if there's anything of value.
I absolutely can. And what I think I should do sometimes is store them for a few years. Like, just put them somewhere and then, like, you know, go through them later, you know, because then you might find them later.
And here's my other thing is my mom loves to keep stuff.
We're not saying that she's a hoarder.
But she has a 2,500 square foot TJ Maxx in her basement.
She just brought me, and I should say Kevin just brought me 7 tubs of Ray Dunn to sell.
Oh, I believe
7 tubs.
I believe it. Because she's a collector. So she like feels like she needs to collect all this stuff and complete her collection. But then she has nowhere to put her collection.
Yes, and we've talked about it before because she did grow up so poor that you know, she really just feels like likes to have things, but she's working on that.
It's something about the completion too of her collection. Like she needs to complete like all her collections.
Bears or Muffy, is it bears?
And so I'm very like, just get rid of it. I don't want it.
Yeah,
it's too much in the house. Yeah, I don't want to keep it because we're never gonna look at it again. Like, or like I just don't want to keep it because I'll rebuy it again in 5 years if I need it again.
Yeah, or because you'll forget you have it, you know.
Yeah, I won't even know I have it.
See, I'm on the middle of that. It'll drive me crazy if I throw something away knowing that I might need it. So I do, but then I do get to the point where, like, I just need to throw that away. I'm not going to use it. Like this little bit of paint in this can.
Yeah, exactly.
But it did come in handy. I did just get a wall painted of some old paint that I had.
Well, and I wonder maybe if you could like take those and put it in a mason jar or something, so at least the storage space is smaller.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
But we do that a little bit where we'll buy stuff and then rebuy it because we don't know where it is.
Right, and that's the problem, right? If you're going to keep it, you have to know where it is. And let's be honest, how do you ever know where it is, where you put it, you know?
Yeah.
But I have half of my basement now is filled with stuff that Lori's brought me to sell.
I know.
And I haven't even got to go through it yet. And then with my middle son being in college now, I've taken over his room with stuff to sell.
Didn't you already take over Nick's room too?
Well, so Nick's room, as soon as he moved out, I moved my youngest son into that room because it was bigger. And then I took over the little room. The little room is floor to ceiling, but it's organized. Everything's in a bin. And I just keep buying metal shelving. Okay. So there's probably 10 metal shelves, and then there's bins on each shelf.
Oh my gosh.
So there's probably like 5 bins on each shelf. Yeah. I think I have 39 bins in that room right now. Wow. And those are only the main bins. And then I have 5 bins of men's clothing and 9 bins of kids' clothing.
So Patty sells on like Poshmark and all those
and
sites.
eBay, Mercari,
and
Depop.
So I literally bring her tubs of my kids' clothes and then she sells them and then we just like split. Split it.
And it's nice because it's like, you know, it's not me sourcing stuff or going, like a lot of like resellers go to like the thrift stores and they find things and then they resell it to people. This is like, oh, it's here. And, you know, if it's in too bad a condition, I just donate it.
Yeah.
I put it back into like some of the textile, because if it's not good enough for me to sell, it's not good enough for Goodwill either. Sure. So then I put it into the textile recycling. But yeah, I mean, it's been a good little side hustle. I enjoy doing it. I like listing stuff.
Yeah.
Keeps me busy on the weekends.
I always have good intentions. Like, I'm going to do it, and then I don't do it.
A lot of people, like, want to do it, but, like, you know, and then you have to, like, because I cross-list to 4 different sites, that's a lot of work to do, too.
Yeah,
so,
that sounds terrible.
Yeah. I have programs that help me do it, so it's not that bad. I can actually list pretty quick. So I'll spend, like, all day Saturday taking photos and measuring the items, and then I'll have, like, 50 items in my queue. And then throughout the week, I schedule 5 a day to go up.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you have to be organized. If you're not organized, But what's killing me right now are the bins and bins and bins in my basement that I haven't gone through yet.
Oh my gosh.
Because to me, that's just money sitting there that I don't even know what's down there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot. That
It
sounds
is a
very
lot.
stressful.
Yeah.
I'm
I like
lucky
it.
if our house gets cleaned.
Well, sometimes my house doesn't get cleaned.
Right.
Which I kind of want to, like, I wonder if my husband would get mad if I gifted that for Christmas. Is like a house cleaner once a month.
I know. I've thought about asking for that too. And I don't even mind helping them. I just like, I don't know.
Yeah, but if it was
We're
like
never
$100 and you didn't have to clean your toilet,
right?
I kind of love that idea.
But then you have to pick up for them.
But I also kind of think I would be
pre-clean.
Yeah, I think I'd be embarrassed sometimes of like, this is the way the toilet looks for the rest of the month you're not here.
Do you like it? I'm just I'm worried because with the littles, sometimes man, the house is just out of control.
Yeah. But I get guilt sometimes if I'm not cleaning my house. Like sometimes I think like, especially when you work full time and you're like, where do I give my time to? Do I do this? Do I do this? Or do I do this?
Yeah, like would I rather go do something with the kids or
so if it
laundry.
gave you your time back where you didn't have to do, cleaning toilets and scrubbing floors, I think that might be a really great investment in your life and time.
I know.
I wonder if my husband would shame me for it though. Like, oh, are you doing this?
Well, I mean, is he scrubbing the toilets?
No, but I will say he cooks like 90% of our meals.
Jason does too.
And he cleans the kitchen. So I can't complain. Like I do have a husband who cooks and cooks well.
Yeah.
It's not
Jason
gross
cooks
food.
our meals too.
Yeah.
Because he gets home much earlier and he enjoys it.
Yeah.
I do not enjoy cooking.
No.
The cleaning's just like by the time, and little kids too, they're growing out of their clothes constantly. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but when you do laundry, it's like half of the stuff that you just washed is literally just getting packed away.
Yeah, because they're not going to wear it anymore.
Yeah, because now it's too small.
I appreciate when I receive laundered clothing from you.
It's usually, it's always freshly washed because it might be sitting on top for 3 months before it makes it to you, but it's always washed before it gets to you.
I have one person who brings me items to sell, and they do not do that.
Oh, okay.
And there have been some things in the clothing where I'm like scream and throw it across the room, and I'm like, I have to tell this person they can't bring this
I'm
stuff
not
anymore.
like pulling it off hanger, so it's either been hanging in their closet or I'm putting away laundry and packing it in a tub.
Well, and then like giving me clothes that are like literally like mouthy and like just rags. I'm like, I don't know what you think I'm gonna do with this. The only thing you can sell that's moth-eaten like that are band T-shirts and concert tees.
You make so much money.
I have made a lot of money off of those. My husband's band shirts from the 90s. Oh my gosh.
Really?
We laugh at it because like I literally wore these to bed for years. I've painted in them.
Yeah.
They are sweat stained.
Ratty.
They are, I mean, just like wonked out. Like the necklines are
they're all
just stretched out. And the most I've sold one for, I think was like $800.
Seriously?
I'm not even kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to remember which one that was. But I was reading a post on one of those sites, and they were talking about how it's like, oh my gosh, somebody's selling this Ozzy Osbourne shirt or something like that from like, the 80s for $600, and it sold.
Wow.
And I showed my husband the post. He's like, and so he gets on eBay and he's like, I've got that shirt. I've got that shirt. I've got that shirt. And I'm like,
so you guys have vintage band tees.
Get those on eBay.
They are.
Yeah, get those on eBay. Those will sell.
It's funny because I actually have a tab open on my Google. So I'm a tab keeper. I open tons and tons of tabs on my phone on Google because they're things that I want to remember and look into.
Yeah.
And I have one open for possible hidden fortune in $2 bills.
Oh, I've heard about this.
I have so many $2 bills. I was gonna look through.
Do you know what it is that you're looking for?
Well, that's what the article tells you what to look for. So I was gonna go through.
I've seen that recently.
They're selling some up to like $4,000.
Wow.
But I'm horrible because I don't even know if I could sell mine. Like, because they're meaningful to me.
Really?
Yeah.
So as much as you said, I want to get rid of things, not those, because they're sentimental.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you got a $2 bill with $4,000. You just let me, don't tell me. I'll just make it disappear, and I'll give you half.
I don't know. Well, like, some are from, like, my father-in-law who passed away.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then, like, one is from, like, my friend Bryn when she gifted me my wallet. It had a $2 bill in it. And, like, so some of them are, like,
can you get $2 bills anymore? Like if you go to the bank, they
I think
make them?
so.
Do they still make them?
Hi, Charles. Have a good day.
Bye, Charles.
I know. We probably need to go too. Yeah, I think you still can get them, but I know people don't always think they're real currency.
Yeah.
So when you go to pay with them, they'd be like, what is
Kids
this?
these days, what is this, fake money?
Yeah, this isn't real money.
I haven't seen a $2 bill or a 50-cent piece. Yeah.
It would be weird, though, because, you know, you've got your, like, your money tray.
Yeah.
And where would you put, like, you have nowhere to put it in your money tray.
There's that one all the way over to the side. That's the one that got all the weird bills. Or you pick up your money thing and you put it underneath.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's no slot
That's
for $2
right, Bill.
bills.
They would understand her getting rid of the $2 bills for $4,000.
They probably would. I will go through them and look because I'm curious.
My mom has like a pretty robust coin collection of like odd coins and things like that.
Yeah.
And my son Lane, he just keeps telling her, oh, it's kind of weird. Almost every time he's here, like, Grandma, you're going to leave those coins to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, your grandma's still alive. Can you stop talking about your inheritance?
You got to claim what you want.
But he really loves them, and he would keep them for sentimental reasons.
Yeah. So when my father-in-law passed, and we're all sitting there, and the boys, they're like splitting his stuff and picking what to go to the sale, which I was so impressed with.
How they handled it. They weren't nasty.
No,
or like, that's my China.
Nothing got weird. Nothing. Like, it was all very good and fair. And a lot of us already had established houses. We ended a lot of it in an estate sale. But
because you hear some crazy stuff.
I sat there and I'm like, I just really want his butter churner. I just want the butter churner. So we have the butter churner.
Nice. Well, and it's nice because like that meant something to you, whereas the boys didn't really care.
Yeah, they didn't care that much.
But you hear some stories about people going wild when somebody passes away and the way they act, and it's just nasty behavior.
No, it was very fortunate. It was just a really tough time anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
But all right, we need to go too. So thank you for bearing with us and tuning in. Hope you had some fun today.
Yeah, we'll see you next week for the day before.